Babbit and Joan, a rabbit and a phone. Babbit the rabbit watched from his window, and he had never thought about how hard the phones worked. He went to church on his own phone. Joan, she was exhausted. She'd been taking pictures and sending texts for Babbit all day, every day. That afternoon, Babbit tucked Joan in for a nap. "Rest well, my friend," he said. Then he took a deep breath and stepped outside, leaving Joan behind. For the first time ever, Babbit felt alone. His neighbors were very busy, and no one said hello. What should he do? Babbit decided to go for a walk. When he reached the forest, he kept going. He never had been so far on his own before. Soon he saw a mother snail carrying her baby on her back. He'd never seen that before. Then he found a beautiful exotic plant. He'd never seen that before either. Later he came across ants carrying leaves 10 times their size. There were so many surprises in the forest. Babbit walked and walked and looked, and then he realized he was lost. Without Joan, how would he find his way back? Babbit tried to remember which way he had to come. Just as he was getting really worried, he heard a chirpy melody. It was a little bluebird. "I was headed to the city to give a concert at Eagle Square," he said. "But now I'm lost and my phone is out of batteries." His name was Ed. A moment later, Babbit and Ed heard a growling sound from behind the trees. It was a big bear. "I was going to visit my brother in the city, but now I can't find my way," she cried. "I lost my phone when I went swimming in the river." Her name was Mare. "Let's stay together," said Babbit. The 3 friends walked on and on in search of a way back to the city. The colors of the forest began to change as the sun began to set. As it grew dark, they found a place to sleep. There they told stories and laughed together and around the bonfire. Long into the night, Babbit lay awake and gazed up to the sky. He had never seen the moon and the stars shine so brightly before. The next morning, the friends continued their journey, ready to see new things and find their way home. They were amazed when they found a grove of tropical palm trees. Up in the treetops, the toucan family, so colorful and noisy, was even more amazing. Ed flew higher and chirped his loudest. "Which way to the city, friends?" That way, the toucans called. Babbit, Ed, and Mare walked until they reached the river, where they found an old wooden boat and a clue. Mare was the strongest, so he rode Ed. Had a beautiful voice, so he sang, and Babbit, whose eyesight was the best, guided them on their way. As the sun rose higher, they saw the city ahead. "What an adventure," said Babbit. "Goodbye for now," Mare said. Ed hummed a farewell tune to his new friends. They all promised to meet again soon. His neighborhood looked the same, but Babbit felt different. No one had noticed he was gone, and no one noticed he was back. But Joan did. Babbit was happy to see that she was feeling better. He told her about the new friends and all that he had discovered. They made a deal. Joan would take more books to recharge her batteries, and sometimes Babbit would go out on his own to explore the world. That night, Babbit tucked Joan into her own little bed. Then they slept peacefully, getting ready for a new day. The end.